Well, all right, let's talk about the Lions, who, half of this video is going to be very happy, right? Because this was a very great start to this game. I mean, the first half, it was unbelievable. It was over. The Lions were in the Super Bowl, and then the second half happened. So I want to talk about what went right early on. We'll definitely spend a lot of time talking about the good plays that the Lions were able to do, and then we'll definitely spend a lot of time talking about the disaster that happened in the second half. So yeah, let's just get into all of it. So yeah, I mean, as a whole, it was tough. It was a lot of bad stuff. Even after this part, they went for fourth again, which, like, again, if you get it, everyone calls you a genius. If you don't get it, everyone calls you an idiot. There's even one play where, like, they called a timeout with a minute left, where, like, that basically meant that they had to go for the onside kick and convert it. Whereas if they didn't, they would have had a chance. So, like, that was a bad decision there. Like, even if you lose 20 seconds, it's still better than losing the timeout. I think people sometimes forget that. Let's start off with this play, which was really the first it wasn't the first play, but it was the first drive, and definitely a big play on the first drive, where it's going to be just a reverse to Jameson Williams on this play, who there's so many different weapons, but we talked about, could the speed of Williams come through in this game? I didn't think it'd be quite like this, though, where you see the way that it's designed to work. You run the play action, then you have several players who are going to try and block San Francisco players up towards the middle of the field. Watch as when Jared Goff flips the ball back to Williams on this play. It's funny because, when you watch these plays, I initially look downfield to see how is the blocking going. Are they getting everything set up? So as I'm looking over and saying, okay, yeah, blocking is set up, Williams is already there. Like, he's already in position to get past them. Like, he moved so quickly that, like, again, he didn't, outrun the blockers. He's just there to instant the blockers are in position. And watch him, gets past Bosa, he gets over here, cuts back towards the middle of the field, and at this point, it feels like San Francisco is going to tackle him, but still a great play. Hey, got the first down. But this is the part of Williams you don't expect, because you expect, okay, yeah, speedy guy, going to be able to make plays for sure. But watch as he doesn't even get brought down, with several guys get their hands on him, but he does not get tackled, and that's exactly what, that's why they spent that high first-round pick on him, right, was to bring value to like that to the table. Also going over here, definitely stuff like this was notable, where it's a 3rd down and 9 situation. And again, we talked about, okay, what's going to happen? Can the Lions win on the outside downfield? Will they be able to do stuff like that? And I think, I made a video on, like, could they win on the outside? And one thing I said was, well, they don't always love to do it. They like to do a lot of screen passes. Well, I still thought they would try downfield, but especially early on, they're just going with the screen passes. Amon-Ra St. Brown on 3rd and 9. Watch as Goff takes the snap. He's going to flip it to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And right here, again, you see, for the Lions, I mean, the way this blocking concept was designed to work, they have another offensive lineman to block the closest unblocked man for San Francisco, and there's no one even there. I mean, they have an extra blocker here, basically. Watch as if the extra blocker was the guy with the ball, he would have gotten the first down. Finally, Amon-Ra St. Brown gets brought down, but he picks up the first down. And again, these types of moves, they're so good at this. Their offensive linemen are so good at moving. And again, Amon-Ra St. Brown is amazing at catching wide receiver screens, so that certainly helps out. And going over here, if you thought a screen pass on 3rd and 9 was bold, how about a handoff on 3rd and 12? It's going to be Penei Sewell. He's the key block here. And this is something the Lions have done. This is not a new thing. The Lions at one point ran the ball on a 4th and 5 this season. It's 3rd down and 12. I think part of the logic is if they only get 10 yards or so, then they can go for it or even kick a field goal at that point. I think that's part of the philosophy here. But watch how for Penei Sewell, you see him rolls out towards the offense's left. And, it's interesting. So 57, linebacker, he, got around his assigned man. So he wasn't supposed to be the closest unblocked guy. 27, the guy further down the field, that was supposed to be the, closest unblocked guy. Sewell blocks him. That's how this play was supposed to work. But now there is a bit of a danger here for the Lions, because if 57 takes away Sewell, well, then 27 can come in and make a play. But watch what happens. Looked like 57 tried to get around Sewell, but Sewell said, okay, I'll get there. He gets to the defensive back, and Gibbs gets to the first down marker, because they're, both have great speed for their respective positions, right? Gibbs for running back, and then, again, Sewell, one of the fastest offensive linemen you'll see. For San Francisco, I mean, the only thing that worked at all early on was the, Nick Bosa had a couple plays. And this is a great play, going up one-on-one against Dan Skipper, the extra offensive lineman. Part of the issue with doing something like this is, they're going to run a play action and you have, Bosa on the edge. Now you don't have one of your great tackles blocking him. You have your extra offensive lineman blocking him. I mean, watch what Bosa does here. I mean, this is domination like you'll never see. Good job by Goff, though, to hold on to the football. Bosa was going for it. Goff makes sure he holds on to the football, which, you might be thinking, okay, well, obviously field position matters, but you're still in a tough spot after taking a sack. Well, yes, they were in a tough spot. It would eventually set up a 3rd down and 18, and it's like similar. It's weird. We're like, remember when the Chiefs, I felt like when Mahomes first entered the league, it was so crazy how Mahomes, it felt like every 3rd and 15, he was still converting. Well, I feel like the Lions are at that now, even though it's in a different way, they're still doing it, where it's, this play, Amon-Ra St. Brown running a route that's not going to get past the first down marker. A lot of their first down plays on 3rd downs aren't throwing past the sticks necessarily. It's, stuff like this. We'll watch as when Goff takes the snap, just nobody picks up Amon-Ra St. Brown right away. Eventually you see that Fred Warner is in the area, but there was just that soft spot in the zone, and you can't have that. You just can't let that happen if you're San Francisco. But Goff hits it there, and it goes so quick. That's how Detroit's able to do it, right? They can make these plays happen so quick. San Francisco just isn't able to get over in time to make a play. But that's great stuff there from Amon-Ra St. Brown. Great play calling, and great stuff from Goff, too, right? I mean, again, we often kind of view the Lions' offense, I feel like, as Goff is just a part of the system. He isn't, different than like for Kansas City Chiefs, it's so much of it is Mahomes just making stuff happen. Here it's, Goff is just running the offense. But this is still a really high degree of difficulty play from Goff. I mean, you have to time it perfectly. You have to be able to read it perfectly, and you don't want to make a mistake as well. So all that stuff really well done by everyone involved for Detroit. But also, going over to a play like this, there were moments, even when they were up and when things were going well, where it's like, they could have done a little bit more. They could have gotten up by more. A play like this, it's a 2nd down and 6 situation in the, they would eventually get a field goal on this drive, kind of end of half situation. But you see Goff on this play, there's going to be pressure, and that definitely affects him. Has to throw off balance, but missed an open Gibbs. And then also here, he's going to miss an open Laporta on this one. This was on a 1st down and 10. Could have had the ball, 1st and goal. This was the drive that they ended up going for it on 4th down and not converting. So a couple of opportunities. Not to say Goff was like bad or anything, but again, couple of missed opportunities for sure. Also going over here, this is the play, right? Because it's 4th down and 2. San Francisco got a long drive, but they settled for a field goal. And it's like, if you can march down the field and put 7 on the board, it almost feels like it's game over at that point. Even 3, you feel pretty good. So I was actually in favor of kicking a field goal, even though I'm usually very pro analytics. I thought this would be a field goal opportunity personally. However, for Goff, the play works, right? They get to Reynolds. Goff is a little bit under pressure, and it's not like maybe the easiest catch in the world, but I'm sorry, you got to catch that. On a 4th down situation, you got to catch that, and so it doesn't work out. And again, regardless of if you think it was the right call, wrong call, players have to execute. They do not, and that's when, San Francisco answered with a touchdown, and now all of a sudden it's a game, but you're still okay, right? Offense is moving the ball at will. And then this play happened, which is a 1st down and 10. It's first play after you give up a touchdown. You just can't let this happen. This is just a huge, it's a blunder by Gibbs. It really is. You're going to see Goff hands the ball off to Gibbs, who fumbles the football. You just can't fumble the football there. You have to protect. Again, these games often come down to mistakes and who makes them and who doesn't. You can't make that mistake right there. Giving the ball to San Francisco allowed them to, get back in it. And then later on here, Goff would eventually hit Reynolds again, who was open on a 3rd down, drops it. And in this play, I want to talk about as well, because this was the punt situation, and they weren't even able to pin him at the 1. It was a perfect punt, and they weren't even able to do that. So, that was an amazing punt that they couldn't even fully capitalize on. So it's just beating yourself in big moments. Again, the Niners are a great team. They're going to beat you. It makes it a lot harder when you're beating yourself. They did so good in that first half, but it was seemed like play after play, they were making some sort of blunder. So some questionable stuff, but just a lot of mistakes by the Lions too. Again, listen, the 49ers are a great team. They make great plays, and you're going to have to play your best football probably to beat them. But I think Lions fans are going to be disappointed with this in the sense of they didn't even play their best football here. So yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.